Doing this quite earlier than I had intended because I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to do this later, or rather, I don't know if I'll have the time to do it later. Sometimes I just want to get stuff out of the way. So there was a person who basically annoyed me a while ago, and I'll explain what led to me getting annoyed and kind of the rationale for doing this stream. Um, as many of you are familiar, YouTube has certain restrictions you can impose on your own channel. You can block people, time them out, you know, delete comments. And I basically butted heads with another person over this system because they don't think someone should, I guess, have the right to that. Well, basically, their thing is they believe that if you have any restrictions at all, it will automatically lead to worse things happening. So if YouTube allows me to block people, they're going to magically make everyone's, I don't know, ability to block someone go too far, some kind of a weird thing. Oh, how you doing, James? Yeah, 41 should come out this week. I've got about a fourth of it done at this point. So you can look forward to that, I suppose. No, but I'm trying to not represent this person's commentary negatively or in a way that's not accurate to what they were saying. So they said they disavow, because I mentioned that I've had people who in my comment section insulted my physical appearance, which, whatever happens on here, uh, telling me to commit suicide, all kind of little weird stuff that they write. And this person did, to their credit, disavow those types of comments while retaining the view that supposedly having the right to not put up with that is going to make it to where eventually it's going to have some horrible ramification. And they also said they support that while they support freedom of speech, they don't support freedom of consequence. So they believe there should be consequences for the things you say, although I don't know what exactly they mean. But I'll give you an example of what was kind of amusing. So if anyone still remembers Alex Jones, no, Ruben, it's not what YouTube itself did. Well, at least what YouTube has done currently, I don't really have a problem with. I'm actually, I guess, theoretically defending it. It might seem as a strange position, but what happened to Alex Jones was basically every major social media website got together and said, "We're not having you." Twitter said that, YouTube said that, and they all just got rid of him to where he could only post on his website. And I disagreed with this. I said that it was wrong. I was not the only person who said this. Jimmy Dore of the Young Turks fame had also made the similar commentary. And the person who I'm speaking about is actually a frequent viewer of Dore. They like his content. So they were kind of surprised when I mentioned that I was following a woman on Twitter who Dore had blocked. And I don't know what she said because I didn't go and dig through all of the different comments that she's written to him or to other people. She tweets like 10 or 20 times a day, and as the days go by, it becomes harder to, Twitter is just, it's got the same problem YouTube does where you can't really get certain moments in time unless you dig specifically for them. You have to manually dig through it. So I don't know what she said, but I know that she was banned by, she was blocked by Dore. Let's see, an idiot who supports censorship on PC circumstances insulted you on your physical appearance. That's an oxymoron. Well, I'll explain a little bit more of what I meant by that. But anyways, with this person that Dore blocked, I don't know what she said to him. I know that she oftentimes will kind of like spam on people's pages. But when I mentioned this to this guy, he was surprised by it. And I basically said, people have an internal thing within them where they cannot put up with a certain amount of, I guess, BS. So even if Dor says he doesn't support censorship, um, Dor uses BlockBot. That's how I got blocked too. Oh well, I don't know. I must have dodged it, I guess. But my point I'm making is, even if someone supports not censoring someone on a website, they still don't want to directly have what that person is saying about them sent to them. And that's what I was trying to get him to understand, that I don't understand where it's censorship, like on YouTube, right? If I block someone or make them unable to comment on my channel, when there's literally millions of channels that they can still comment on and write whatever they want, and they can still use the website. Now, he was able to compromise and say that he wouldn't call it censorship if when you block someone that doesn't delete what they wrote on your stuff, but I don't understand where that function is somehow censoring you from expressing your opinion on this website if you can still express it on other parts of the website. I give you an example. There was a person on what website was that? No, it wasn't Twitter. It was some other site that's not YouTube, but they blocked me, and I didn't say anything to them after they blocked me, but they were writing about me on their page. And I remember distinctively, I got very tempted to do the same thing back, where I write stuff back to them on my page. Um, but I chose not to because I didn't feel like keeping up. The point I'm making is, even though they blocked me and I wasn't able to comment on their content anymore, I still could express my opinion on that website. And I guess this is the fundamental issue I had with his thing, because it basically is, there can be no restrictions on anything ever, or else it's censorship automatically. So for example, if YouTube doesn't let me post, I don't know, do like during the stream right now, YouTube won't let me pull out my private parts. Uh, they're supposedly gonna get to a point where if you're wearing certain clothing, you're censored, or you're going to be censored. Like that kind of stuff was what I'm talking about, where you'll draw these connections, and then you still can't figure out that you're talking about the grand scheme of the internet. So YouTube won't allow people to post porn under normal circumstance anyway. I've seen there are some different videos with people naked in them, but whatever. But you still are not barred from posting porn on the internet. You just have to go to another website. And I don't see anyone saying that they feel censored from expressing themselves in terms of, showing porn online, if they can still post it online, just not on this one particular site. See, his whole thing is basically, if any of these sites have restrictions at all, they're censoring people. And I don't understand that logic at all. If I block someone on my channel, they can go make a video about me. They can write a comment about me somewhere else, whether it's on YouTube, on Twitter, Tumblr, wherever the hell. ODL says YouTube seeing nudes, RE3 mods on YouTube. James says that's stupid. Yeah, he actually believes that automatically, if you have restrictions on something, then you're going to basically just pave the way for the greater arc of censorship to come in place. And I'm sitting here with this guy because, again, my thing is, he uses all of these websites. He knows they have certain rules of what they will and won't allow. And I've never seen people because a lot of people will go to Pornhub, X videos, whatever, but you don't see any of them saying, damn, I feel so censored because I can't post this stuff on YouTube, because they can post it on other websites. There's plenty of them to choose from. But anyways, let me explain some of the reasons I do what I do. So this person, prior to, I guess, discovering I had a channel, made the comment that to delete comments or block people or hide ratings was cowardly. And this actually really pissed me off, because the person who's saying this hides their face. A lot of times the people who write nasty stuff to me hide their face. So it's cowardly to delete these comments, but it's not cowardly to hide your face, but you write nasty stuff to people online with the purpose of keeping your identity. But because he does that, writing the nasty comments, he empathized. He said, well, people are sometimes worried that the stuff they'll say online will follow them back in real life. And I said, no, no, I get that. I know the rationale behind it. I just think it's kind of ironic that the same group of people who would accuse someone of being cowardly for not wanting to put up with any and everything that's written to them, or at least display it for others to see, is cowardly. But then the person who won't show you who they are while they write all this nasty stuff, they're not cowardly. Exactly. Twitter shows nudity and Instagram does not. Yeah, but that's my thing. If Instagram doesn't show nudity, if YouTube doesn't show it, go to Twitter, go to X videos. This is what I'm saying, that these people act like the internet is YouTube, or like if one of these websites does it. He actually believes that if one of these websites puts in a rule about what it does and doesn't allow, automatically it's going to lead to all of these other websites doing the same thing. I'm like, well, then how the hell has YouTube had a ban on porn for what, over 10 years? YouTube's been around since I was in second grade, so that was like 2005. But then they have these other websites, again, like X videos and whatnot, where they don't have the same restrictions. And they've lived simultaneously, as far as being operating at the same time without stepping on each other's toes. But yeah, I suppose I should give an explanation for the reason the likes and dislikes vanished. Last year, let me read Ruben's comment. Before they got banned from Twitter, Scroyer and the other InfoWars people were doing the same headlines about COVID-19 that CNN was making. Oh yeah, I've heard that you can't mention the virus in the video title, which is why I never even attempted to, because I was worried. See, that's something where where there's legitimacy for saying that censorship, but that's kind of where it stops. Where if like, do you not have any kind of restrictions at all, or do you call out ridiculous ones and protest the site for doing that? So that's my point. Anyways, let me get back to this thing I was about to say. So I got rid of the ratings because of two incidents that happened. The year before last, there was a user who made, I think it was like 5 or 6 accounts. And basically, it's like this thing people do when you're streaming. They downvote the video over and over and over again to purposely get people to go, oh man, what's that? Why did the ratings go down? What was that? To distract from what you're saying and the topic at hand. To basically just mess up your stream pretty much without actually being on it or commenting. And it happened at least 2 or 3 different times. I just kept getting annoyed, so I said, to hell with it. Oh, and also there was this one time where I did a stream, and I guess like 2 or 3 people attended, and then after that it had a downvote. It had 1 upvote for me and 1 downvote from a troll. And I was like, how the hell does the troll remember to engage, but the people who watch don't? Like, he wrote a comment, he clicked the button, a button, not the one I prefer, but he offered some engagement. I was just sitting there dumbfounded. I was like, really? This is what we do? But see, even if I banned someone like that, oh yeah, Elliot, it is messed up. Even if I were to say get rid of that person, because the topic was the education department, I was talking about how Republicans like to mess with it because they want to do like the little state government crap. Uh, Even if that person gets their comment deleted by me, they are not being censored on this website. They can still comment on their own page or on the channels of, I'm sure it's hundreds of thousands of other political commentators. And I don't understand where anyone gets this idea that suddenly, because this one particular person has some rule they'd like to abide by, everybody else is going to have it. There's a person on YouTube. I'm not going to say their name, but uh, some of the people in the comment section in the chat might know who I'm talking about, who makes videos that people don't like, and in response to him making videos that people don't like, he's been swatted. He's been accused of being a child molester, despite neither of his children or their mothers ever saying that he was doing anything sexual. Um, he's been called a scammer, even though people donate to him because they feel like it. He doesn't really promise them anything. He just gets donations like a whole bunch of other people on here. My point is, there's a difference between free speech and slander. There's if somebody makes a video where they say this person is stupid or you're a liar, okay, fine, whatever. It's those are general terms that don't accuse someone of doing some criminal activity. If you come on a video, like, think how insane this is. Elliot, imagine tomorrow you wake up and I have a video called Elliot is a rapist. That's really something that should be allowed to stay up if I have no proof of it. And he was saying, oh, I agree in freedom of consequence. But my point is, if people are able to come on here and say whatever they want with no restrictions, I think that's just as dangerous. I mean, think about it, Elliot. You wake up one day, you got somebody doing a stream accusing you of being a rapist with no proof. They just completely made this up, which is what they do with that guy. And then, according to this person, that's just something that people should be allowed to do. Again, and now if someone made a stream about you and they said, I don't like Elliot because, let's say you made videos, his videos are not good to me or whatever, that's all stuff that is not actually going to hurt your life or anything. It is what it is. But when you accuse someone of criminal activity, and I even gave the guy I threw him a bone because he said, oh, well, there was this one occasion where this person was accused of molestation and they had heard this from this person. So that was probable cause. But we're talking about a scenario where people accuse, in the example I gave earlier of this YouTuber, I'm refusing the name, they accuse this man of molesting his own kids, despite the kids never saying that they were molested, or the mothers of basically the people who would actually be involved with this situation in real life have never given it any credence. But apparently all these random online people actually know what's going on. But that's what I'm saying. When you let people come on here and say whatever they want, they can do damage to someone's life. I don't believe in freedom of consequence. Yeah, too little, too late. I'll rather walk away and not say anything for the best. No, I'm not saying that they're going to dictate your response. I'm simply stating that if there are no restrictions on, ruin your reputation. That's why I said that when you don't have rules, it's dangerous. Like he was saying that people should be able to come online and make death threats because people get angry. I'm like, okay, people get angry before they kill someone, but you wouldn't try to legalize that. God, it's like, I hope I never get to a point where I call myself supporting something and I don't have any kind of nuance to my position. Like, I think it's wrong to expect someone to be okay with comments where someone says, I hope Justin kills himself or some old crate. Like, who does that benefit? But again, this person, they'll say, oh, I disavow these comments, but you'll still let them up. If someone goes to my comment section, for example, and they say, I don't know, Ruben is a person that I hope falls off a cliff tomorrow, how in the hell does that benefit him or the comment section or just this website at all? Like, how does that being up in any way assist anyone in any capacity? And again, if I get rid of it on my page, they can go write it somewhere else. But see, that's really the big issue, that it's not so much that you're being restricted from being able to express your opinion on something. They just are upset that they can't do it in certain places. Like I've said before, that I don't really have an interest on making any videos and other YouTubers, because I don't find a lot of them that interesting, at least out of the ones that are considered big. But I would rather make a video than put it in their comment section, because one, if they're a really big channel, my comment is very likely to get hidden amongst all the other comments that people are writing. Um, and two, I just think I could probably be more effective in my messaging if it's done in an audio capacity. It also make it stand out because people, more people just comment as opposed to actually make content. But let's say I wrote my comment in their comment section and they deleted the comment. I could just post it on my own page. Or I could take my comment and read it in the video and then post it on here. So, it's really not so much the site being restrictive, just people wanting to have their cake and eat it too. They want to be able to post whatever they want, and they want to control wherever their comments can get posted. Little creepy toy videos for kids. And Ruben's over there going off. I remember when I was in, I think I was about 11. There was a channel that warned people about it was like Suave.com or some weird crap, where basically these guys were sending people bogus emails, and they were like, "Oh man, you got to log into your YouTube account," and then you would log in and they would get your account. I don't want YouTube to hide my comments. Well, see, that's the thing. Because the virus is going on, they've had less people actually operating and manning the machines. So basically, YouTube is kind of just doing whatever it thinks is right. The like the automated machine where they have certain words they pick out and stop you from typing. I mean, that's more so a problem of the site just being lazy in terms of not wanting to hire actual people to look at the stuff, and not trusting the people who have channels like myself to evaluate my own comment section. But see, this person would say, "Oh, see, this is what censorship led to." I'm like, look, I can oppose YouTube deleting comments manually, like the automated system or whatever, and still think people should have the right to control the comments on their own channel. I just don't think my position is really that insane. If you can post whatever you want across the whole rest of this website, and I say, "Hey, not over here," I don't get how that stops one from enjoying the overall site. I'm not exactly, like the way he was talking, I'm YouTube itself. I got to put on my Infinity Gauntlet. I control the whole site. If I block you or whatever, then automatically your I don't know, your enjoyment of the site gets cut in half. So don't say anything I don't like, or else you'll get blocked, and then it'll be the end of you on YouTube. It's not like you can still make videos or post on other people's channels. I'm the end all be all because according to him, that's the start of censorship. It doesn't feel like this person just it doesn't feel like this person just wanted to start an argument. It's just something that can't be stopped. Well, what I'm saying is every website has different rules and ways of governance. So, when you block someone on Twitter, for example, you can't see their post, or rather, you can see their post, they can't see your post. I think that form of blocking is stupid, which is why I've had to make more than one account, because people, they'd have to block bots and whatever where they block you and all your followers. I'm like, damn. But I think YouTube system is way more relaxed, where you can still watch this person's stuff, and you can still, I guess, technically write, stuff on their channel. Only you can see it. But if you want your stuff to be seen, you can just write on your own channel or on any other channel that you haven't been blocked on. And again, maybe because I'm actually someone that makes content, it doesn't bother me as much because I don't usually comment on other people's stuff anyway. So I wouldn't notice if I was banned or blocked or whatever. It just seems weird that, we're gonna act like apparently it's a bad idea to I'm glad I'm not the only one out that these damn birds are driving crazy. Chirp all day in front of my windows. Oh yeah, they've been doing that for like an hour now. It seems like every time we do a stream in like the morning, it's either birds or a lawnmower or something else. Oh yeah, Ruben, I know she lost YouTube. What was it? Some billions of dollars, unspecified number. Oh, Duel, I know you're looking forward to that video. Why does God hate New York? It's going to be an interesting tale. No, some of the arguments I've seen in favor of just letting people say whatever they want are so damn crazy. Ruben, do you think I should be able, since you're a free speech advocate, to come on YouTube and accuse you of, I don't know, being a bank robber with no evidence? No proof whatsoever. I just feel like it. Like, yeah, Ruben did this. Where's your proof? Oh, and remember, no matter what, like we could have a whole discussion about. I gave the example of how Twitter's blocking system is stupid because you have to have two accounts if someone decides to block you, and you never know what's in somebody's head, so they can do it anytime they want. But his thing was, no matter what the restriction is, it's automatically going to lead to all of the websites censoring people. And I'm like, well, hell, there are certain things that in the context of laws that exist in the real world you can't do. It's illegal to threaten the president of the United States. It's supposed to be illegal to give death threats um, to regular people as well. And I don't really see a problem with having those particular. Like, why should anyone have the right to do that? So I said, people are weird. They get all in all kind of strange little ideas. Like I said, I opposed Alex Jones getting kicked off of here because that was a bunch of websites deciding we don't want you and whatever. Like, I think these sites should be public utilities, as far as people should have the right to access them, but they still should. What's a good word for it? Be moderated. Not weird, just stupid. Well, James, if I block you right now after you call me, I don't know, a rapist or something, apparently that's going to lead to the internet being a completely censored place. Even though I gave a specific reason for why I blocked you, again in this hypothetical, that's apparently it just all ties into each other. If I make a website right now and I say I don't want anybody to post porn here. If you want to post porn, you can do it somewhere else. Oh my God, I'm getting censored. This is the end of the internet. And again, my thing is always like people just I like how they pick and choose who they want to have empathy for. Like, oh yeah, I have empathy for these people that write all this nasty stuff on here to such an extent that the actual content creators that they're messing with, go to hell. I don't care what your position is on this. I don't care if these people use their free speech to, in a lot of cases, spread lies. Is anyone familiar with any of the swatting that we've seen on the part of some of the scum online, where they basically lie and say that someone's planning on doing something, and then they have the cops show up at someone's house for no reason with the intent of getting them harmed? The problem is that majority institutions have immunity from moderation, at the same time decide everyone else should get moderated. See Fox News and NBC with Trump and Obama, respectively. Yeah, that same guy I mentioned earlier, he had a stream he was doing that was broken up by, I think it was like 6 or 7 different officers. Some clown called the police department by his in the city that he lives in and said that he had little kids as hostages rather. And in response to this, the guy goes, "Oh well, we should stop having tipsters remain anonymous." It's like, well, the reason they remain anonymous is because, and you can look this up if you don't believe me, oftentimes when detectives would get annoyed with not being able to solve a case, this isn't always what happened, but this was sometimes what happened. They would go and get the person's number traced and then blame that person. This is actually, part of like why I said no good deed goes unpunished. So you report something having to do with the crime, and then they use that as proof that you did the crime. So there is a reason for why, they let people report anonymously. I remember I do not condone it. Now I know what you mean. Well, I'm saying that, okay, look, if somebody wants to come on here and criticize something, that's fine. If somebody wants to make a Justin Sucks video where they say the content is bad, yeah, that's the same kind of stuff. Little kid got his house swatted by other bad word. But I'm saying that people use speech in a destructive manner sometimes that is not productive, directly imperils people. And according to this person, that's okay. And again, he'll keep saying, "Oh, but I don't condone this. I disavow it." And I said, well, hell, if you don't put any restrictions in place to where that kind of speech can be stopped, I don't really understand how you're actually disavowing it. Like, I disavow accusing people of stuff without proof. So if somebody makes a video right now where they say, I don't know, what's a good claim to make? Just whoever in the chat molested me, and they don't have any proof, that they should get rid of that. But they shouldn't get rid of the person on the site. The person should still be able to comment and watch the content that other people put up and make their own content, just not accusatory crap like that can hurt someone's life. And again, there is a difference between critiquing something and purposeful maliciousness. So if I, for example, what's a good way for it? Just in principle. So let's say I delete someone's comment that they call me ugly, and I go, okay, fine, whatever. But then they go on their own page and they say that I'm ugly. I would not have that deleted because that's an opinion. It doesn't, it might hurt my feelings, but it's not going to negatively impact my reputation or social standing. If it was a hot woman, I'm sure it would be fine. Oh, yeah. That man who got killed by the SWAT team wasn't even part of that argument. The criminal basically gave the other 2 idiots someone else's address. Yeah, people do that where they give someone another person's phone number, address, pictures. That's one of the reasons I don't like a lot of the anonymous stuff that goes on over here. People use it to tell too many lies. Because I hope what I'm saying is quite clear. If people want to get on here and critique someone, say their video sucks, their whatever, I think someone should have the right to remove that from their own page, but they shouldn't be able to remove it from the website itself. And that's the thing. They made the person's page sound way more important than it actually is. Because I was talking about, I've done videos on secular talk on TYT. I very seldom ever leave them any comments because I know that my comment is most likely not going to get seen because of the thousands they get on all their different videos. Sounds like people don't know the difference between hate speech and free speech. Yeah, he was saying that it should be legal to make, like, that people should be able to come on here and make death threats. Like, am I the only one that understands how insane that is? I should be able to fire up a stream and say I want to kill somebody, and then we're not like there. No one's supposed to react to that. Oh my god. Oh, I forgot. I disavow that kind of speech. Well, then do something to make sure it doesn't happen. And then it's like, okay, it's not illegal, for example, to call somebody ugly, to say their video sucks. It is illegal to threaten to kill someone. And he was saying, oh, that rule should be overturned. It's like, okay, well then, let's play your game. Because remember, his thing is any restriction whatsoever automatically is going to lead to something worse and more restrictive. So should we make child porn legal because we have regular porn? Like, it just, this is a really dangerous, stupid game. You can't take a scenario where you give a specific example and then you just keep stretching it out to all of this other stuff. Like, this is the kind of person who will say people should be able to own a gun, and then they'll say, oh, but you let people own a gun, they might be able to own a tank eventually. It's like, what? That's the logic that he was working with. Automatically, if you support one thing, it's going to lead to something else. So if James buys a pistol, he's going to next own a bazooka, and then he'll get, I don't know, a rocket launcher and then a tank. I haven't seen Music Fiend in a very long time. He vanished. He flew the coop. No, people genuinely don't know the difference between free speech and like doing malicious stuff. I gave the example last year of another YouTuber who made, it was like 50 plus videos about another person. And in these videos, he accused him of cheating on his wife. He accused him of scamming the fans or whatever, of being racist, whole bunch of different stuff. And one of the videos I distinctively remember was him. It was like 12 minutes long, and he named about 3 or 4 different broads who are all on social media as being the women that he was cheating on his wife with. And I'm just like, when these videos are coming out, I'm thinking to myself, there are so many real life ramifications for that kind of content being on here, where because a guy took a picture with a woman, you're going to make a video saying they're having an affair. And that guy is apparently, like, one of the chicks the guy got accused the other guy of screwing hasn't even been to the same country. But it's like, that's the kind of speech that's not criticism, that's slander. And people really don't get the difference. I'm not sure if you heard about this story, but a person in Chicago owned an RPG. I did not hear about that story. I'll have to look into it. No, YouTube algorithm wasn't the reason. It was the Music Fiend algorithm. He decided he wasn't going to come over here. He said, "To hell with that channel." Oh yeah, by the way, Music Fiend, I'm gonna ban you. Like, I'm gonna like block you where you can't comment on here anymore, and then you're gonna like be so censored, because it's not as if you can comment on your own channel or on the hundreds of thousands of millions of channels that are all still on this website. No, my favorite thing was when he saw that Door blocked that broad I follow. He was like, Door blocks people? It's like, yeah, people get sick of that. Like, who the hell wants to wake up every day and you got somebody tweeting at you to, I don't know, go to hell or what. Like, people are tired of that. I remember I had this one guy who sat in the yeah. We're getting blocked on my channels like I'm doing you worse than all the social media sites did to Alex Jones. But there was a I must have lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Let me replay it. Oh, now I remember. There was a guy who um commented on one of my videos last year, and they wrote the N word with the ER, and I thought it was kind of weird. But it was like, whatever. People write one random thing sometimes, just being strange. So then about 2 or 3 days pass, and they write the N word again, and then I banned, like, I got rid of them after that. But that's an example where it's like, that's not slanderous speech, but what opinion are they expressing? Like by me removing them just writing a racial slur, in what way is society not benefiting from that person's pattern of thought they're displaying? This guy actually said that putting someone's address in the comment section, like, where you reveal where someone lives, that's freedom of speech. Like, that's crazy as hell. Think of how insane this is. Somebody comes here and they say, I don't like your video because X, Y, Z. Okay, fine, whatever. Somebody comes in here. Um, Music Fiend's address is, like, what the hell? What what opinion is being expressed when you type and put someone's address in the comment section? I'm waiting. Like, that's weird. Oh, I didn't like it either, Kevin. That's probably his favorite word. Nah, everybody's being so censored. I think YouTube's probably the most transparent out of any of the. Exactly, Kevin. But that, not like, ignore the part where they're revealing that person's private information, right? Here's a guy who says, I want people to have anonymity online where they don't show their face, write this nasty stuff because it can have ramifications for their personal lives. But then you support free speech where all somebody does is reveal personal stuff about someone's private life to hurt them in the aftermath of their internet life. Like, do you not get the contradictory crap that's being said here? I support people being able to hide their faces and write nasty stuff online. But I also support people being able to put out a person's information to hurt them in real life because they said something they don't like. Remember, his whole thing is, I want to protect people who have anonymity online because it can have real life ramifications for them. But then you say, to hell with the people who, by putting their address out, you're trying to have real life ramifications for them because of what they've said or done online. And this is why I said I don't like talking to a lot of people, because they have these, like, contradictory thoughts that, like, I don't know why someone can't just say, look, if someone puts out a person's personal information under any circumstance, that's unacceptable, it's ridiculous. That's not helpful. That's not freedom of speech. That's just compromising data. But that's apparently, seems like you're dealing with the bozo. I think that was the name of what was it, John Wayne Gacy's clown appearance. I've been here for about 20 minutes or so, but was busy, so I couldn't comment. I definitely agree with pretty much everything you've said about the situation. Oh, you're waiting for that GT video, I promised. That's why you didn't comment. But no, I was just saying that if people want to have like people should have the right to say they don't like someone. Um, but when you make videos where you accuse someone of cheating on their wife, uh, or saying that this person's a rapist and you have no proof, I don't understand how that's not slander. Which again is different rather from someone saying I don't like this person's content or I think they're a jerk because they did this, that, and the other. Those are all opinions that are fine to have because they're not actually made with the intent of messing with that person's actual life, even if they might hurt your feelings. There's a fine line between free speech and just death threats. Well, apparently, Megumi, if someone gets banned on my channel for calling me out of my name or telling me that they hope I kill myself, which they have done in the past, that's apparently destroying their freedom of speech, even though they can leave that comment on anybody else's channel on this website. Supposedly, if I get rid of it on mine, that destroys free speech. That's going to lead to the overall collapse of people being able to say what they believe and think and feel. I think that's crazy as hell. Because as long as there are other parts of these websites that let you talk the way you want, I don't really hell, forget that. As long as there are websites that let you do something you can't do on, let's say, one of them in particular. I'll give you an example. You know what an AMV is? They're those videos people make where they put a song in there and then, they play the song to match the images that are on the screen. There are some songs that YouTube has copyrighted to where if you put them in your video, they automatically will shut off the audio from the video. I think that's a ridiculous rule. But because YouTube made this website and because the internet is not run by YouTube, I know that there are sites like Vimeo, Dailymotion, BitChute, where I can make that exact same video and not have to put up with YouTube's list of songs that you can't use. But that's what I was saying about how people like to claim the internet's so restrictive, but then you have all of these other sites that have different guidelines and rules. And to suggest that just by having rules, a site is restricting free speech, I just think is insane. Now, if you want to go into a specific rule, that's a lot more realistic, but just there should be no rules anywhere. So I should be able to do a stream right now and pull down my pants and reveal my, third leg. Like people don't understand the difference between free speech and just slander and lies and evil commentary. Just like on Twitter, if you block someone and now they can't see your tweets, you can't see their tweets, they can still write whatever they want to anybody else. Hell, they can still technically write whatever they want to you. You just can't see it. And he agreed that this is, not as awful. I'm like, what? But then what's the problem with that? Because they're still able to say whatever they want. You just have chosen to turn them off. But like I said, the reason he got upset with people being able to delete someone off of their channel was because it's basically him getting upset that people accept that he has the right to speak whatever he wants, but they're basically like kicking him out the door. They're telling him, hey, you can take this comment and go write it on your channel or that person's channel or this person's channel. It's not here. That's the real reason that he was upset with that. There's a fun. Okay, I read that already. Megumi says shaking my head. Yeah, I was shaking my head too. Like I've never seen somebody say they think death threats should be legal. Like what the hell is wrong with you? And then it's like this is the same person who believes in, like one thing leads to an extreme. So if you make death threats legal, then what's to stop actual death attempts or assassination attempts from being legal? Yeah, man, people are weird. Jesus Christ. They come up with all kind of just positions I can't comprehend at all. God, I'm so done with people on these. That's why I said I just, you know, to act like my one channel is so big, so goddamn big, to where if you get banned on it, you're basically banned all over YouTube is just, it's a false equivalency at best and a stupid position at worst. Like you said before, though the people would like their comment being posted in certain places. Yeah, they're really upset that they can't just put whatever they want anywhere they want. But that's how the internet has always worked. If I make a I don't know, a porno, I can't post it on my channel, but I can post it on X videos or Live Leak or wherever the hell else. If I make a, I don't know, music video for some singer song that I don't have monetized, I don't make a dime off of just because I love some song so much, and it's on YouTube's banned song list, I can't make that video, or rather, I can make the video, but I can't put it on here. But I can put it on Daily Motion or Vimeo or any other of a whole bunch of different websites. So censorship isn't always a bad thing if it's done with people who are actually willing to act in principle rather than feelings. It can be pretty wonderful. Um, that's why I gave the example of if someone makes a video where they say Justin's videos suck balls, and they give like all these different reasons or whatever, or maybe they don't give reason. They just say I don't like his channel, and it's like a 10-second video. That might hurt my feelings. That might be a disappointing thing for me to see, which I would try to avoid it anyway. But it still has the right to be posted. But if someone makes a video where they say Justin is a rapist and they have no proof whatsoever, like why the hell should that be allowed here? Or as the one guy did last year, Justin cheated on his wife. Not me, but some other. The example I gave earlier of how they accused this man of cheating on his wife with like 5 people with no proof. It's like that stuff shouldn't be on here. It's he made the best case, and I'm only keeping his name out of it because I don't. This isn't about this person, but he mentioned how when they put out the names of it was like 4 chicks he got accused of screwing behind his wife's back. That has negative ramifications for his public image because it makes him look like a cheater, even though again there's no proof. And that can also negatively impact those various women because one of them at the time was living with their boyfriend. So if the boyfriend goes online and he looks up her name or sees that video, he might think he's getting cheated on with a guy that literally lives halfway across the US. The guy lives in Florida and the broad lives in my state, California. And they're apparently having an affair. But see, that's what I said about how it's just like stupid stuff like that that is not about content. It's not about critiquing something or showing. It's like, why should that be allowed? We just keep on dropping. Oh man, I must have made Ruben mad. He got upset. He went to go side with that guy. People always say about the dangers of restrictions on free speech. There's a danger on having no rules at all. Like right now, if I say, no, I'm not going to use that as an example because it's not entirely related to YouTube. I mean, Megumi, should I be able to make a video called Megumi 800? I don't know, molest children like that. That's the kind of weird stuff that this person thinks should be able to be posted. Or I know that James likes to drama say that James traces other people's artwork. And I got no proof for either one of those claims, but they should be allowed to be on here because that would violate my free speech. Yeah, no rules at all. No, my favorite part was the thing about I want people to be able to hide their faces because if they say something somebody doesn't like online, someone could try to use that in their real life to hurt them. But then when you get asked about what was it? What did I say? The thing. What was? I'm trying to remember what it was. I'm going to start drawing. Oh, now I remember. Then when you get asked about people putting out online people's addresses to get someone to mess with them and hurt them in real life. Oh no, they can do that. That's okay. And it's like, what? Like, how is that free speech? They're not even saying anything. This person lives at here. The hell? Oh my god! I'm so. This is why I said I should. I just want to just back off from even bothering talking to these people. They say some of the craziest crap. And then like my favorite thing is when you sit there because I do. When I do like a stream, I try to take my time. Admittedly, I do repeat myself, but repetition is key because I've sometimes when I've learned things had to hear it more than once. So like you will sit with this person and you will break down why what they're saying is dangerous, why what they're saying that of no restrictions on free speech has consequences, and they go, okay, but well, this. That's why I just said to hell with it. Oh, I haven't seen Jason in a long time. Not since he was in that last Friday movie. I'm gonna say Jason's that he robbed the bank. I have no proof, and I'm making it solely so I can damage his reputation. But that should be allowed on here because if you don't let me slander him, that's a violation of free speech. Damn, people really don't even care anymore. They just say whatever. They make me want to do a video where I just sit here and mumble. I'm gonna make Kid Boo sound more intellectual. You'll be able to understand what he's saying more than me. People are really just they've lost their minds. I don't know what it was, but like in between the last maybe 2 or 3 years, there's just been crazier stuff being said by people. Like they don't even care. They just say random crap. And then the thing I hate is that because I always said it's a lot easier for me to put up with a supposed different opinion if you just keep it to yourself. Like if someone asks me a question, I'll answer it. But as far as a back and forth, I'm not really interested. Just agree to disagree. I didn't. I got rid of this person last year and they came back. Like I said, if someone blocked me and I made an account to talk to him, I could call the stalker in 8 seconds. But when people do it to me, it's all right. That's the kind of backwards stuff that happens. It's like they just want to have these videos up solely to rain down the person's reputation. And look, like I said, I wouldn't necessarily mind it if they actually had proof. So if I make a video where, I say this person is scamming people and I have, I don't know, news articles, court documents, just something, but they'll just make these videos and this crap. And then, if we say, hey, there's no proof, this is dangerous, this can hurt somebody in real life, whatever. Like this guy literally made a video accusing this dude of screwing 4 chicks. One of them's not even ever been in the same country as him. But then when they're saying take this down, they're violating free speech. It's like that video can make people that can literally screw up relationships that are ongoing if certain people see that video and mistake what's in it for being reality. Like I said, people, I think a lot of times you like when you heard the guy mention when I referenced the part where he was saying that he has empathy for people who make accounts to write nasty stuff without showing their faces because showing their faces will make the things they're saying basically come back to haunt them. It's because he hasn't been in the reverse seat that he accepts that kind of stuff. So because he doesn't make content, he just basically says, "Oh, you can say whatever you want to any of them," or at least doesn't have the same experiences of having people write all kind of nasty stuff. It legitimately always feels that whenever whatever drama you see is just manufactured for outrage, and then the person accused can never respond fast enough. It's like it took you a couple of days to say you weren't cheating on your wife with 5 people. Megumi says, especially if there is no proof to back what they are saying, since the accusations they are flinging around is serious. Yeah, there are literally videos right now of one guy getting accused of molesting both of his kids, and the kids have never said they were molested, or the parents are the mothers of the kids. Like that's the kind of stuff that just you know if you take that down, that's free speech violation. No, it's slander. But if people made videos saying his videos suck, hey, you can keep it up as long as you want because it's actually relating to content. People always believe in allegation. Well, that's why I said that there should be restrictions on free speech, because if people believe accusations without any proof, then if you throw around accusations without any proof, at any point, you're basically guaranteed to get a segment that's going to buy into it and hurt that person's reputation just because of the stuff that's coming out of your mouth. Now, if I accuse someone of something and I have um, court records, news articles, whatever, that's different because I'm coming forward with things to back my claim. So it's not just me saying, "Oh, well, this person did this. Where's your proof?" You just have to believe me. You have to take my word for it. Yeah, even if it's a lie. People are really gullible. You know that. They get tricked. They get duped. They get bamboozled, hoodwinked. All those words. My free speech. It is why I think people like Keemstar should be removed from the platform. Um, well, look, I'm not familiar enough with his stuff to have actually come to an opinion on it. I just know that if you did something like that, they're gonna like, regardless of whatever false stuff you think he's put out there. And I'm not trying to doubt you. You're gonna have people who go, they're censoring him. These are free speech violations, even if everything or majority of what he says is lies. So it's just you can't win. The best thing to do is to target specific videos with false information and say this is a lie, and then maybe like get YouTube to do something about that. Because again, you're not like, anytime you say, "Hey, this person shouldn't be on here," regardless of how much they could make 1,000 videos lying about people. They'll say these are free speech violations. Believe everything they see on the internet. Yeah, they fall for all of it. He manages to create a lot of effects based on his speech. The YouTube version of TMZ. Hey, you know what somebody's gonna say? Well, if TMZ can stay on TV, why can't Keemstar stay on YouTube? Again, I don't want to call for him to get removed because I don't know his stuff. I'm just saying that if the majority of his stuff is lies that we can prove are lies, then or basically if they're lies with no proof, then they should be gone after. At least, again, those specific videos if they exist. Yeah, but what I said before, I oppose them getting rid of well, I didn't mention Milo, but I opposed them getting rid of Jones because that was literally a bunch of companies getting together and saying, we're just going to deplatform this person. And I don't agree with that. Like, I think you should still be able to post on the site just when you have videos specifically where we can prove you're lying and your lies are going to hurt people's lives. Then get rid of that. but keep the person on there. At least have them have the right to still be on there. Hey, Ruben, do you get what I'm saying? Because I want to make sure my point is not being missed. Because people are going crazy now. They just say whatever. Death threats should be legal. If you silence a little bit of free speech, it's going to lead to everything getting silenced. If Ruben can buy a pistol, in 2 years, he might be able to buy a bazooka. But to have complete immunity, they even have their own Keemstar clowns like Howard Stern and Yes TMZ. We have a lot of dumb libertarian takes. Well, I was going to do this video on secular talk, but I changed my mind because, well, I might still do it. He basically, so 2 years ago in February, there was a broad who married her father and had a kid with him. And you know that when kids are born from incest, it leads to higher rates of deformalities and mental, just all kind of different stuff that we can prove is caused by people too closely related breeding together. And he, in his video, misrepresented the argument for people to be opposed to it, because he said, we need to have better arguments than just you, even though we had the argument of factually being able to prove that when two people who are related like that screw, they have a higher chance of having a kid that is impaired in various ways. So that video pissed me off. And then 2 months later, because the guy thought his girlfriend / daughter was leaving him, he killed her, their inbred kid, her stepdad, who had raised her for most of her life, and then himself. But it's like somebody that was crazy enough to screw their daughter, I can imagine would be crazy enough to do that too. But that's an example of another dumb libertarian take. We need better arguments than just you, even though we know for a fact that when you have two people that are that closely related, it can lead to the kid being, oh, Megumi, I can send you that article. I got it right in my, because I recorded for that video, but I never actually sat down and edited it. So it was just crazy that he actually, like, just his video looks worse in retrospect because of how that turned out. Like, not even 3 months later that happened after he reported, because they went viral when their proposal was shown online. TMZ was the first non-U.S. government agency entity to get to use drones. I mean, they have their place. Yeah, Megumi's reaction, just wow. I forgot the exact when I heard the trash that this guy was stating about any restriction is going to lead to a worse restriction. I had the same position, that same expression, just couldn't believe it. So I said, I just want to be left alone. I'm tired of people acting ridiculous on here. Oh, yeah, it all is dumb. Like, just that's why I said I'd rather not even talk to most people about it, because they stuff I think is really simple. They act as if it's this big, huge conspiracy. Like, when you get to a point where anytime there's a new law posed on something, you automatically jump to whatever the worst case scenario is. I just say to hell with it. Like, he sounded paranoid and crazy as he was talking. Ruben didn't even answer my question. I asked him if he agreed with what I was saying or if he knew what I was saying. If my words hadn't fallen on deaf ears. Lizard Warren, who lied about being Native American and about her dad's background, among others, has been pretty loud about expanding censorship even further to stop the race. Well, look, I don't. If someone wants to be racist, I'm not trying to get that removed because, you know, somebody calling me a racial slur is not going to negatively impact my life in the same way that someone saying I'm a rapist or a molester or any of that trash would. Now, my comment section is like the weirdest thing in the world. I'm gay, but I'm also gonna rape women. It's like you're a homosexual. That's why you approached over 80 broads. But you're also gonna. Like, it's just so stupid. I agree for the most part, but you should explain nuance to certain people who are waiting to deliberately misinterpret you. Well, I said if someone wants to make a video where they say I suck, or they claim they don't like my content or positions or whatever, that's fine. But if you make a video accusing me or someone else of being something criminal, like a rapist, a scammer, um, whatever the hell, that's a lot. That is dangerous, and that should get yanked if you have no proof of it. Yeah, that reminded me of the pro censorship idiots who got mad at Bernie Sanders last year for going to Fox News. Guilt by association. I think he had surrogates for O'Rourke and Warren and somebody else that were upset with him, like publicly were expressing their rage at the fact that he spoke to these people. Now, people don't care about nuances. They like anytime you say something that says, "Now, wait a second, let's roll it back a little bit. Maybe we should not let people come on here and be able to slander someone." They're like, "Oh, you support censorship," so I just say the hell with it. Because again, I've now explained, articulated my position for over an hour. So if people are still confused, then let the chips fall where they may. Like I said, I don't bother people on any of these websites. I leave them alone. Um, I think the same courtesy should be extended toward me. But look, I understand that people write stuff to whoever they want anyway. But if a website gives me the tools to at least control who gets to post on my own page, I don't understand how that's the website censoring people if they can still post everywhere else that doesn't have me on there. Oh, I know they don't, or they like they have selective hearing. I agree with what you said at minute 20, but at minute 56, I want to curse you out. People are so weird. I mean, you don't even know how much I just want to be left alone. Like, when I saw this thing, it's like, really, you're gonna come back and white knight for people hiding their faces? You're gonna white knight for them because you want them to be protected, but you don't want people who have their addresses posted online to be protected, even though it leads to the same conclusion of supposedly wanting to protect people from having what they do online hurt them in real life. All right. Hey James, if you make an account with no name and no picture, some like fake name and no picture, I support no one being able to dig up your personal info. But if you have your personal info leaked online by someone else, I support their right to do that. So if you had no picture and some crazy name, I would be okay with that because I don't want people to get your personal life mixed up in your internet life, as opposed to if you have someone post your address online Then I'm okay with people getting your personal and internet life involved with each other. Man, the contradictions are all over the place. People are stupid. That's the end of it. No, I agree. There's a lot of dingbat behavior. And I guess on that note, we can end it. So, in conclusion, I support certain restrictions on free speech. You shouldn't be able to come on here and say you're going to kill somebody. You shouldn't be able to slander someone. Um, but if you want to say that you don't like someone's video or critique them, that's cool. But if people still don't get what I'm talking about, then hey, I guess what James said is correct. You can't cure stupid. That's the end of it.